Last time we finished the topic of limited network studies. Now we are moving on to a bigger network, which is the statewide program. And for the statewide program, state is considered everything which is under your boundary. Okay, the whole city, the whole governorate, the whole country, whatever you want to consider. Okay, and we are trying to find out two things: AADT and ADT. Again, we have control points and coverage counts and control counts. And you have to keep in mind that there should be a ratio. Some of the control counts are permanent, some of them are major, and some of them are minor. This is an old map, but I believe still they are using the same locations for doing the counting. So these are some of the control counts which we have in Bahrain. Okay. Some guidelines. Okay, so we mentioned permanent control counts are those which are permanently working. Okay, so obviously you cannot do it without a sensor, without a detector. Okay, and that sensor or detector should be working throughout the year. This is what permanent means, right? It should work throughout the year. So we use permanent detectors or sensors there. At other points, we use portable equipments. At major and minor, because these are for few days, not for the whole year. Okay. So we can use some equipment to count and then we can remove it. Okay. Any equipment which you know can do this sort of counting for a few days. We used it in the last example. Yes. Huh? Yeah. And what do you call it? Okay. You are trying to say the spelling, which is also wrong. Very good. Road tubes, right? Road tubes. Okay. Yes. Pneumatic road tubes. Yes. But road tube is easy to remember, right? Pneumatic road tubes. Okay. So we can use these sort of equipments on major and minor control counts because they are not for the whole year. You can do it and remove it. Okay. I already mentioned these things last time. Okay. Now in the statewide program, we mainly deal with adjustment factors. Okay. In limited network studies, we were dealing with adjustment factors. And what other factors? They were adjustment and expansion. Okay. In statewide programs, we don't have expansion factors. We only have adjustment factors. Okay. Because the counts are not usually taken for hours. Okay, even for coverage counts, we don't take them for hours, we take them for days. Okay, so we don't have to apply the expansion factors. Now, how do we calculate the adjustment factors for a statewide program? Okay, so in this example, the data is given for one control count location. You can see the first column, number of days in the week. The second column, the average traffic of that day in the year. Okay, so the number which you see in this column are average values for the whole year. Okay, but that only taken average for these days. So each value is for a specific day. It's taken average but for a specific day. So this is not the average of 365 days. It's only the average of how many Mondays I have. Clear? Okay. Now whenever we have this sort of data, whenever we have a control count for statewide program, the first thing we should try to calculate is AADT. Okay, the first thing is what? AADT. AADT means what? Okay, so we start with the same thing here. We will calculate average annual daily traffic. Okay, now we will do it using different methods. Okay, there are some other examples as well. We will do it using different methods. But keep something in mind. Okay, ADT is always total traffic upon the number of days you have. Okay, simple. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
What?
Inshallah.
What?
Always it will be annual average daily traffic.
Okay.
So
So how many values I have here? How How many days I have? How many days I have? 7, right? 7 values, 7 days, right? Okay. So I will just do the average, simple average, okay? And it will give me AAT. Okay. What we had done earlier was, when we say annual means the whole year, right? Okay. But we will not do 365 here. Okay. We will not do divide by 365. Because each value is already an average of 1 day. Okay. Clear or not? Okay. If they give you all values of Monday and all values of Tuesday and all, then you will do divide by 365. Okay. Here they did the average. Now each average is per day. I cannot do this divided by 365. Got it? Clear? Okay. How much is this?
حضرتك ده وانا في اول فريق
Okay, any problem till now? Clear? Okay, now I need adjustment factor for each day. Adjustment factor for each day. I will use same equation which I used earlier, which is I pick the value of the day and divide, I'll take the average and divide by the value of that day. Okay, same thing which we did for the limited network study. No change. Okay, no change. So I have 7 days. Let me make a table here. Day here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so for Monday, I'll pick the value of Monday, which is 1820. Sorry, I'll pick the average first, 1430 divided by 1820. 0.7. Okay, next. Okay? 9-1. Wednesday is 1. Okay, got the idea? Average will not change, you are just picking the value from the day. Clear? Any questions? Clear? Okay. This is a plot of those factors. Shh. This is a plot of those factors. Okay? It's not Ramadan only for you guys, it's also for me. So don't test me. So this is a plot of these factors, okay, which we were calculating. Now you see, Saturday has the highest factor, right? Okay. If you look at the traffic, what about the traffic of Saturday? Is it the highest or the lowest? Lowest, okay, because the factor has the traffic in the denominator. Okay, the traffic of the factor is in the denominator. Okay, so that's why when the traffic goes up, the factor goes high. So a higher factor means traffic is low. Okay. In this example, we have traffic for each month. Okay, so they are asking for calculating monthly adjustment factors. So now the adjustment factors will be for each month. Okay, and you look at the value which is given for each month, they have given what? Total. Okay, so So this is now the total traffic. It's not average. Nobody has taken any average now. Okay. This is the total traffic now. Okay. So I will divide by total days. In the previous example, each value was for 1 day. Okay. Here, each value is total, meaning for all days. So I'll divide by all days. And how many days? 365. Okay. So total upon 365. What is, as I said, the first step is always calculate AAD. Statewide program, adjustment factors, first step, always calculate AAD. No matter what type of data you have, use it to calculate AAD. Okay. This will always be your first step. Okay. Tell me.
Seven nine six one eight. 797.
796 67. No. 797. Okay, any problem? Clear? Okay. Now I have to calculate monthly adjustment factor. Okay. In the last example, this example, I was taking ADT upon something, right? ADT upon something. Okay. So I have ADT. So this part is same. But what was this?
Day.
It was
For each day.
per day, right? It was per day. Now the given traffic is
Per month.
total, right? So I have to again convert it to per day to calculate the factor. The factor is unitless, right? You cannot take average and divide by total. It will have some units. Okay, so we have to calculate in the units. This will also be per day. Okay, so each of these values total, I divide by the number of days in a month to calculate average of that month. Okay.
First one will be 1.2.
How much?
1.2.
Huh? No, how much
Factor
traffic?
1.2. 6.
Huh? 642 40 1.2 is the factor, huh? And the factor is 595. Yes,
1.3.
1.3. Okay, understood. Clear? Okay. These are the factors if you are supposed to calculate. And again, if the factor goes up, that means what about traffic? Traffic goes down. Okay. Clear? Anything else? Any questions? Okay. In this question, now in the previous questions, the data was given complete. Okay. Whatever data was given, if it was for days, it was all days. If it was months, all months. Okay. Here the data is incomplete. Okay. So here we have to see how to calculate the factors and how to calculate the ADT. Why the data is incomplete? You can see the first table. Okay. How many months of data you have?
4 months.
4 months. And each month how many days?
7 days.
7. Okay. This is one set of data. Second column, how many months?
12 months.
12 months. Each month, how much data?
1 day.
1
count. 24 hours, 1 day.
1 day?
24 hours.
24 hours? What they have written?
Average.
No. Average of what?
Of count.
Count.
How much?
Tell us
Average
the
of how
count.
many?
Tell us the answer.
Huh?
Monthly.
Month of.
Week.
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 Okay. Every month, but data is for 1 week. So this is average of how many days?
7.
7 days. Clear? Now, how do we calculate ADT? If it was given for 365 days, we'll add all values divided by 365. Simple? Okay. Now, here first of all, I need to find out how many days of data they have taken. Okay. If you look at the first table, how many days they have?
7.
Huh?
7.
Total. 28 days, right? Each month 7 and then 4 months. So total 28. Next table, 12 months. Each month how many days? 7 days. Okay. So the total will be 7 into 12, right? Okay. So the first table, number of days 28. Second table, number of days 7 into 12. Okay. The total will be 112. Okay. 112 is 28 plus 7 into 12. Clear? Now we have to multiply, or we have to take the traffic of the same number of days. If you are dividing by 112 days, the traffic should be for 112 days as well. Yeah. If I take it from here, each value is for 1 day. I add 28 values. Simple. I will add 28 values for 28 days. Here, each value is an average of a week. Each value is an average of a week. So each value, if I'm going to divide by 112, this is an average. Okay, I want the total of 112, right? Not the average of 112. Got it or not? So I have to convert this from average to total. I have to convert this average to total. How do we calculate average?
Times 7.
Huh?
We multiply it by.
We multiply it by times 7. Because average is what? Total upon 7. So if I want to calculate total, then it will be average into 7. Clear? So this is what is written here. Take all the values from table 1, because it's one value for each day. Then when you are taking the values from table 2, it will be values into 7 to convert the average into total. Clear or not?
Yeah.
Everybody, any question? Any problem? Okay, so first thing is, like I said, first thing is always ADT. Now you can see here, or in the 3 examples. The first example, the data was for 7 days. So we divide by 7, right?
Yes.
Second example, the data was for all months, all days. We divide by 365. Here the data is for 112 days. We divide by 112. So we are calling it ADT, yes, because this is coming from control count. But it doesn't mean that every time you will have 365 values. Okay? How much is this?
لا واجد عليها قسمه طبعا هي قليل لا مو نسوى شيء بس شيء بالك عليهم
Same value as last year, right? Okay. But you understand how did we get it? Now the next thing is to calculate the adjustment factors. Adjustment factor was this average, the ADT, divided by the average of, if you are doing it for the days, it will be divided by the average of the day. If you are doing it for the month, it will be divided by the average of the month. Now for days, I will start with the days because it's easier. Now if you look at the values in the second table, it's the average of the full 7 days. It does not mention if it is how much for Monday, how much for Tuesday, how much for Wednesday. It does not mention. Okay. So if you want to calculate adjustment factor for each day, table 2 is useless. I cannot use it because I only see 2250. But I don't know how much on Monday and how much on Tuesday and how much on Wednesday. So since I cannot know that from table 2, it is useless. I cannot use it for the daily adjustment factors. Adjustment factor of the day, I cannot use it. I cannot use table 2. Okay. Table 1, the value is given for each day, right? For each day of the week, how many values I have? 4, right? For each day of the week, I have 4 values. The first thing is, for each day of the week, I will calculate its average. Okay. So how much do we have? Okay. I have shown Monday. 1925 21 1913 1400 1010 1010 800 890 950 Okay. Now the adjustment factor will be, you will take ADT and the average of the day, which is how much?
1.02.
Say,
10.
see you next time.
Oh my god.
Position.
0.93.
Okay, got it. Everybody clear? Same thing for the rest of the days. Okay. Now, monthly. Since both tables have some monthly data which I can see for each month. Okay. In both tables, I have some data which I can see for each month. Okay. So I have to use when I'm calculating the average, I have to look at both tables now for monthly data. because both tables have data which belongs to specific months. Okay, if in any of these tables they just give you a total of all the months, then I cannot use it obviously. Okay, but now I know January how much in table 1 and January how much in table 2. So I have to use both of them for January. Okay, so for example, if I am calculating average of January, first of all I need to decide how many days of data I have for January. In the first table, 7 days for January, right? 7 days for January. And the second table also 7 days. Total 14. Okay. But what divided by 14? What should I add and divide by 14? First row, all of it, right?
Plus 2250.
Plus 2250 times 7. Because again 2250 is the average of 7 already. If I am going to divide by 14, then you have to convert it to total. Okay?
1067.
Okay. How much? 1000?
1067.
67. Okay, got it? You have to do this whole plus this into 7. Why into 7? Because this is data of 1 week. You have to convert it to total of 1 week. This is the average of 1 week. I am converting it to total of 1 week. Then this multiplied by 7 plus all this divided by 14. Clear? Huh? How much? 203. Yeah. All values are 2000.
I don't multiply it by 7.
Okay, 2032. Okay, then adjustment factor. Can I calculate the adjustment factor now? What is the thing I need for adjustment factor? ADT. Do I have it? No? Sure? Okay. So 1958 divided by 2032. Okay, how much is it? Okay, now what will do for February? Which table has February data? Both or one of them?
Only second table.
Only second table. So I have to use only second table. Okay. Now which value should I use?
Second
2200, right? Should I do something with it?
No.
Why not?
1 day.
It's already per day, right? So don't need to do anything. It's already per day average. Okay, so don't need to do anything. Okay, so February 1958 divided by 2200 and point. Clear? Okay.
Yes, clear.
March,
Same.
same as February. April, same as
January.
January. Clear? So if there are different data sets given, for AADT we will combine them. For AADT for sure we have to combine them, because AADT has to be total. But for months and days, then we will see which data is applied, which data is applicable. Okay? If both tables had all the months, I would have used it for all the months. If both tables had all the days separate, I would have used it for the daily adjustment factors. Clear? These are the values. You can later on check it. We are talking about a statewide program, right?
Yes.
The state means what? Region, right? It can be a city, it can be a country. Okay, so it will be a very big area, right? And in so big area, you will not have one control count. You will have many. for each of them, you will repeat the same exercise. You will calculate daily adjustment factors, you will calculate monthly adjustment factors for each of them. So let's say you have 50. So you have 50 sets of daily adjustment factors and 50 sets of monthly adjustment factors. So this is a lot of data, right? And then we are doing it to apply it somewhere. This data is calculated, so we can apply it somewhere else. So if you have less values, it will be easier to apply, right? So if I told you, you have this question, this question, this question, in all these questions, we are using the same constant value. Easier, right? But as I say, in each one of these questions, you have to do this and this and this, and then you will get one value which will be used for one question only. Okay? So the same value will make my life easier, right? Clear or not? So how can I combine these different values and reduce them? Okay, this is what we mean here by grouping of control locations. We are trying to combine the adjustment factors. Grouping means trying to combine the adjustment factors that are coming from different control locations. Each of these examples which we have solved represents one control. So whatever we have done in one example, it has to be done for all, and then you will have all these values on all those points. Okay, so if you can combine them, the number of values will reduce and applying them will become easier. Okay, so this is what they mean by grouping of control locations. Now when we are doing the grouping, we cannot group a value. First of all, we do not mix between different days and different months. When we are doing grouping, we will not group Monday with Tuesday. We will not group January with March. Okay? So we are doing the grouping for the specific days and for the specific months. Okay? We have 50 control locations, let's say. For each control location, I will have an adjustment factor for Monday, right? So I will have 50 values of Monday. Can I group all of them together? Maybe, maybe not. When can I group them together? If they are close to each other. So I got 0.9, the other one is 0.91, the next one is 0.89. So they are very close to each other. Now I can group them together. Okay? But if one is 0.9 and the other one is 1.29, they are very far from each other, right? And as we have been saying, we cannot leave these things to somebody's opinion. Okay, he says 0.9 and 0.95 very, very close, but the other guy says no, 0.9 and 0.95 very far. Okay, so we cannot leave it like this. So we have to apply a number. Everybody will check according to that number. Okay, so the rule is, this is the rule. This is my number. Okay, the difference between the values and their combined average. The difference between the values and their combined average should be in this limit, plus or minus. Okay, the difference between the values and their combined average should be in this limit, plus or minus. Okay, clear? And like I said, we are doing it for each day separately and each month separately, whatever data is given. For example, if I come here, now the data is given for each day, right? And how many values for each day? 4. No, 4, right? The first one is average. Okay. So this means that they are trying to combine 4 control count locations. They are trying to combine data from 4 control counts. For each control count, they calculate value for Monday and Tuesday and so on. Clear? So first thing we will do to check the grouping, first thing we will do is calculate average. So for each day averages, calculate. Now we said what is the rule? The difference between the combined average and the value should be plus minus 0.1. So now I have to check 1.01, 1.05. It's within the limit, right? Yeah. If you take the difference, if you want 0 something, 104. Okay, 0.0, not my problem now. Okay, this one and this one, 0.01. This one, 0.0. This one, 0.0 something. Again, not my problem. Okay, so all these values satisfy. Next one, this is the average, and this is, so again, 0.0 something, 0.0 something, 0.0 something, this was 0, obviously. But this is now 0.1 something. So we have a problem here. Okay. When you detect the problem, when you detect the first problem, the first value which goes out of the range, the first value which has a difference of more than 0.1, that value indicates all this complete grouping is not possible. Grouping of these complete 4 locations is not possible. Got it? If one value is out of the range, you will not ignore it. You cannot exclude it. You will say grouping of these 4 locations complete is not possible. Okay? But we are still trying to make our life easy, right? So if I cannot do the grouping for 4, maybe I can do it for 3. Okay? So now I will continue with the checking to see if I can group it for 3 locations. Okay? So again I will keep on checking. Okay, here in this row no problem. In this row again no problem. In this row no problem. Here I have problem. Okay? This is average is 0.98. If you take the difference from here, it is more than 0.1. If you take the difference from here, obviously more than 0.2 actually. Okay, I have a problem here as well. I have a problem here, here and here. Okay, in this row where is the problem? There is a problem. Just to give you a hint. Where is the problem? Fourth value, right? This one. 0.92, 1.1. Okay, so there is a problem here as well. How many values with the problem? This one, this, this and this. Total 4. Okay, so there are 4 values which have which exceed my limit. Okay, now which station they belong to?
1, 4.
These belong to station 4 and there is one which belong to station 1. Okay, when I will remove station 4, the combined average will change, right? The combined average will change. Okay, so the next step will be, now we remove station 4, recalculate the combined average and check again. So I had a problem with station 1 and station 4. I already removed station 4. So the only thing which can happen is 1. And 1 had a problem on which day? Saturday. So if Saturday is solved for 1, everything is solved, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the combined average for these 3 stations now for Saturday? Tell me. How much?
0.89.
Okay. Now you see, this problem is also solved. None of the other values had a problem. So if they did not have a problem earlier, they are not supposed to have it now. Otherwise, you made a mistake. If you start seeing new problems, then that means you have made a mistake. Then you recheck your calculation. Okay? But it shouldn't happen. Any question? Okay. Thank you.